Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining today. Today we are going to get started on the Amazon Lex Chatbot Series. Super exciting. It is so wonderful to have you all here. I've got I'm sharing my screen, and you can see the AWS console on one side and the project document on the other. If you check the YouTube description, you should be able to follow the project along with the guide. I'm going to add the project guide in the live chat for you as well. All right, you excited? So today we are going to create our very own chatbot using Amazon Lex. And this is the first part of a 5-part series. Today we're only doing the first part, and as we keep working through the series, you'll have a beautiful, wonderful chatbot. More specifically, BankerBot, which is a intelligent chatbot that is going to understand human language and check bank balance and transfer money. Today, we will create the bot to handle conversations through voice or text. It's a very easy project, a very nice project to get started with AWS Lex and AI, and by the end of this project, you'll feel like, oh, I've learned something new. All right, so we should be able to do this in just 60 minutes. All right, you ready? Let's get started. So this quick 30-second summary, we're gonna use Amazon Lex to build an intelligent chatbot. And we are specifically going to create the BankerBot that will allow us to greet users and handle conversations using voice over text. This is a little preview of what we're going to create today. All right, so like I said, this is part of the chatbot series. There's 5 parts. This is part 1. And so as we get started, the really nice thing about our next work projects is that you get to choose your mode, and there are 2 fantastic ways of doing this. You can go step-by-step guidance, you can go for a little less guidance, and sometimes we even have the option of going with no guidance. So today we'll take the step-by-step guidance because we're complete beginners and we're going through this one by one. All right. One thing I would like to really stress is make sure that you delete all your resources by the end of the day. Very important, so that you avoid getting charged. It's a good practice to delete your resources. If you're going to do the entire series in one go, you don't have to delete it by the end of this project, but I highly recommend that you delete all your resources by the end of the day, even if you don't finish the project. All right, so before we get started, let's answer this question. What are we here to do today? Well, in this project, I will demonstrate how to create a chatbot using Amazon Lex. In this project, I'm going to learn how to use the AWS console and Amazon Lex and create and practice creating real-world projects. Okay. All right. Amazing. Okay. So So now we're going to start the project by doing a little bit of a quiz. Oh, I see that we've got people joining us with us today. Thank you for saying hi. All right, so I'm going to need your help to do this quiz. This is a quiz that we're starting with at the beginning of the project. We're just getting started, so I don't know if I can do this all by myself. All right, let's do this. Okay. What is Amazon Lex? Very important to know, given that we're going to work on Amazon Lex. Any answers, please feel free to throw them in the chat. Let's look at the options. So, what is Amazon Lex? A code repository. B, a serverless computing platform. C, a database management system. Or D, a service for building conversational interfaces using voice and text. Oh, tough one, don't you think? I don't know. Any answers from the audience? Oh, hi, Adil. Thank you. Thank you for your answer. Let's go with D. Adil says D. So if we get this wrong, it'll be D. Okay. Adil, you did it. Thank you. It is correct. D is correct because Amazon Lex is an AWS service for building conversational interfaces using voice and text. Nice. All right. Second question. Oh, it's tougher. Oh, okay. I really need your help for this one, guys. When is fallback intent triggered? Fallback intent. Let's see. A specific keyword. B, the chatbot's confidence score is below the set threshold for all defined intents. C, a system error. And D, a successful intent recognition. When is fallback intent triggered? Any idea? A specific keyword, the chatbot's confidence score, below the set threshold, a system error, or D, a successful intent recognition. Well, fallback sounds like a backup option. I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, I'm not liking the answer so much, but let's give it a go and see. Yay! Fallback intent is triggered when the chatbot's confidence score is below the set threshold for all defined intents. Thank you, Ernest. Couldn't have done it without you. All right, so we got 2 out of 5. Let's go. Question number 3. What do intents represent in Amazon Lex? Is it A, error messages? B, represent what the user is trying to achieve in their conversation with the chatbot? C, UI elements? Or D, database queries? What are intents? Well, I'm thinking out loud here. Intent, when you have an intent, it's your intention of achieving something. So I'm gonna say B. What do you think? How does B sound? Shall we do it? Okay, let's go with B. B is correct. Yay! Thanks, Adil. B is correct. Intents represent what the user is trying to achieve in their conversation with the chatbot. All right. Okay. Question number 4. What does the intent classification confidence score threshold represent? Oof. I don't know. It's a lot of words. A, the maximum number of intents allowed in the bot. B, the maximum score for the chatbot to the minimum score for the chatbot to confidently understand the user. C, the maximum number of concurrent users. Or D, the maximum response time for the chatbot. Adil says B. I like Adil's answers. He always gets it right. I'm going to go with B, right? Let's do this. Yay! B is correct. The intent classification confidence score threshold is the minimum score for the chatbot to confidently answer the user. Look at that. Very nice. All right, you ready for the last question? What is the purpose of defining variations in chatbot responses? A, provide a dynamic range of responses, making the chatbot sound more conversational. Sounds good to me. B, define the core functionality of the chatbot. C, handle complex logic. Or D, replace intents. Adil, I'm counting on you. Which one is it? I'm kind of liking A, right? Because I'm thinking variations, dynamic range of responses. What do you think? Shall we do A? Ready? Yay, look at that. A is correct. Variations provide a dynamic range of responses, making the chatbot sound more conversational. All right, we did it. Thanks, Adil. And with that, we complete the quiz. Oh my goodness, we've mastered the quiz. We don't need to do this project. We already got it down, right? No, because theoretical knowledge isn't the same as practical. And that's why next week projects are so great, because we're going to get hands-on experience in setting up our chatbot and doing amazing things on Amazon Lex. All right, ready? Okay, so this is the step. Our first step is to set up the Lex chatbot. Super simple and just a couple of clicks. And what are we doing in this step? In this step, it says right here, I will create a new bot from scratch. Why? Because Amazon Lex is great. Gives because gives me control to create to customize a bot. A banker bot. How about that? In this step, I will create a new bot from scratch. I'm gonna change the words a little, okay? Using Amazon Lex to customize a banker bot. All right. Okay. So now we log in to AWS. And by the way, guys, I don't know if you've done Nextwork projects before, but it's super nice to fill in the text as you go along, because at the end of the project, you get this really nice documentation, which it's like a cherry on top when you want to showcase your skills, you know? Okay, so we're going to log into the AWS console, which I've already pulled up here. By the way, I just want to quickly mention that there is a Amazon Lex introduction series. I'm just going to scroll up really quickly to show you. There's a whole chatbot series that you can check out. And it's a really nice, quick project that you can go through. And you can also set up your AWS account over here and in this project too. But it's a really nice introduction project. If you want to just pause, create the account, and do the little intro project before coming along with me here. Okay, so we're in AWS console, and we type Lex into the search bar. All right, let's type Lex. Okay, here we go. We click that, and it says, check your URL in your web browser. Does it say Lex v2? Yes, it does. It does say Lex v2. And what that basically means is that this is the version 2 of Lex. There is a version 1, and you can see on the bar on the left, the navigation bar. If you don't see Lex version 2, just look at it around here. You should see an option to go to v2 console. But we're already on the v2 console, so all good. Select create bot, and then create a blank bot. Now, if you don't see what you're supposed to see, you know what to do. And if you don't, ask the Nextword community. We're such a great place to ask questions and share your celebrations, all that good stuff. Okay, so we're creating a blank bot. And for the bot name, we're going to enter BankBot. Did you know, by the way, that you can just click this and it's copied, and then you just come here and you paste it? Look at that. So that's the bot name. And for description, we're going to enter the blank bot. And the banker bot is there to help customer check their balance and make transfers. Okay? All right, so under the IAM permissions, which is right here, create a role with basic Amazon Lex permissions. Now, why do we need Amazon Lex permissions? Amazon Lex gives you permission to call other AWS services, which is great, and we're going to be using that a little later in the series because we're going to use a service called Lambda. But for today, we don't have to worry about it, but it's good to set up this role so that we have access to other services as well. Yep, and then we select No for the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, and if you want more information, you can always check it out here. And under the idle session timeout, we'll leave it at 5 minutes, which is the default. Now, what does the idle session timeout refer to? It's basically if the user doesn't respond after this particular timeout, like 5 minutes, the session will end. And so we're just setting the time. We can always make it higher or lower, but we're going to go with the default 5 minutes. Okay? Now, does everything look okay? I think so. We're going to get next. Okay? Adil, I see that you're asking some great questions. I highly recommend that you check out the community, but I can get to that by the end of the project, if that's all right with you. Okay, so now, next is we get to do the fun part. We get to select the bot's voice. Oh, this is so much fun. We're going to keep the language as English, and we'll leave the description piece, but this is where we get to choose a voice. So Danielle is the...
Hello, my name is Danielle. Let me know how I can assist you.
Hi, Danielle. It's a decent voice. You can play around with it.
Hello, my name is Ruth. Let me know how I can assist you.
Ruth is a nice voice, but let's go with the
Hello,
default.
my name is Danielle. Let me know how I can assist you.
Feel free to play around with it and, even share in the Nextwork community when you're done with the project which voice is the one that you went with. Okay, here we now then select point 0.4 for the intent classification confidence score threshold. That's a lot of words. And what does that mean? The intent classification confidence score threshold basically means that it gives that Amazon Lex is going to be at least 40% confident before it confidently gives a response to the user. So if the user's input is very ambiguous, then the chatbot's confidence scores is below. It'll throw an error message. So feel free to play around with that and let us know how you find what works. Is it 0.4? Is it 0.5? Yeah. Okay, so here we are going to take a screenshot of the chatbot setup and showing the voice and the classification confidence score. Ready? Awesome. I'm going to take a screenshot right here. And I am going to add it to this. Oops. All right. Look at that. Okay. How long did it take to create a chatbot? Well, it took us, I created my chatbot from scratch with Amazon Lex. Setting it up took me, I don't know, I feel like it was just 5 minutes. I'm going to say 7 minutes. Okay. All right. What did you give your why did you give your chatbot basic Amazon Lex permissions? Well, while creating my chatbot, I also created a role with basic permissions because Amazon Lex needs permission to interact with other AWS services like Lambda. Okay. What does an intent classification confidence score mean? In terms of the intent classification confidence score, I kept the default value of 0.4, and this means my chatbot needs to be at least 40% confident to respond to a user's input. How's that sound? Okay. Amazing. All right. With that, we select done. And woohoo! We just created a bot. Amazing. Okay, so now the bot's basic structure is for us to give it life. And we'll start by teaching our bot to say hello. So in this step, we're going to train BankerBot to create users. What are we doing in this step? In this step, I will create, I will train my bot to greet users because I want a friendly experience for my customers. Okay. All right, so when your bot is created, you will automatically see a page called intent. Okay? What are intents? Intents are different things a user might want to do when interacting with the chatbot. So it could be saying hi, checking a balance, and all that good stuff. So let's first change the name, and we're going to enter welcome intent. You can always type, but thanks to the next work project, we can always just do a shortcut and copy and paste. So we're creating an intent called welcome intent that is going to welcome users when they say hello. Look at that. Everything seems to match. Yes? Okay. Now we scroll down to sample utterances panel. Okay, great. And here we want to copy the text, which represents different user inputs, which is called utterances. And these are the possible things that a user might say. So this is under the plain text option. We've added 4 options. Hi, hello, I need help, can you help me? And when you check the preview, you should see exactly the different sample utterances that you entered. Great feature, isn't it? Cool. Now we scroll down to closing response, and here, the closing response, and expand the arrow for the response sent to the user after the intent is fulfilled. So in the message here, we want to say, hi, I'm Bibi, the banking bot. How can I help you today? All right, everything looks good? What do you think? Okay, so here we can now save intent, and we're going to build, and that might take a couple of seconds. So in the meantime, we've got a nice question to answer. What are intents? Intents are user goals that the chatbot needs to understand and respond to. What does welcome intent do? I created my first intent, welcome intent, to greet users when they say hello or ask for help. Okay, and done. Yay. All right. Now we're going to, oh, look at that. It says successfully built. And we are now going to test. Are you ready? Nervous. Oh, okay. So here is a window that's popped up, and we can interact with the bot now by entering the opening message. So how about we say hello? Look at that. It says, hi, I'm Bibi, the banking bot. How can I help you today? Amazing. And feel free to keep entering different things. I can say, I need help. Oh, look, it's giving me the same answer. Hi. Wonderful. Isn't that wonderful? Exciting. I'm excited. Okay, so the ones that we entered in our utterances is going to work out. But what about other stuff? So what if I say, what's up? What's up, Bibi? Oh no, it says intent, fallback intent is fulfilled. What if I say, help me? That works. Hiya. That works too. How are you? Not so much, an error message. What about good morning? Still, it's a intent fallback. So what does that mean? It goes back to the intent classification confidence score. And we selected 40%, right? When we entered 0.4, that's basically what we were saying, is that the bot needs to be at least 40% confident that it resembles one of the answers that one of the inputs that we had trained it with. So hiya was okay, how are you was okay, but good morning was not. Help me was okay. And it's just based on that 40%. So feel free to play around with the confidence score and see how much of it works and how much of it doesn't work for your needs and your use cases. All right. Amazing. Look at that. So let's take a screenshot here and upload it to our project so that we get a beautiful documentation by the end of this project. All right, so which of your greetings could your chatbot understand? I launched and tested my chatbot, which could respond successfully if I entered hiya and hello and the chatbot returned an error message. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think this is good enough for here. Yep, these are the ones that it could understand. It didn't understand how are you. When did your Lex Chatbot return an error? My chatbot returned the error message, intent fallback intent is fulfilled when I entered how are you? And good morning. Good morning. This error message occurred because my bot couldn't match it to the initially defined intents. Yeah? Okay, sounds good. Awesome. All right, so we can keep trying these utterances. We can even use the microphone on the left icon and see if it works. Feel free to do that. It's super, super fun. And check out what works and what doesn't. And if at all you're getting an error because of the dialect or the language, feel free to change the dialects, play around with the languages, and just have fun with this project. All right, let's move to step 3. So our chatbot didn't understand when it had things like good morning and how are you, right? So let's configure the fallback intent so that we get a nicer error message. How's that? Okay. So in this step, we're going to customize the fallback intent because I would like my chatbot to be friendly. Yeah. Okay. All right, so what is the fallback intent? The fallback intent is basically an error message that instead of the intent fallback is fulfilled message, we get to customize it a little more and make it sound a little nicer and humanized when the confidence score is below 40%. Okay, so let's do this. In your left hand navigation panel, choose the fallback intent. Oh, look at that, right here. Amazing. And then I'm going to minimize this for now. The default fallback intent message is exactly what we saw. Intent fallback is fulfilled and doesn't sound very nice or clear. So let's rephrase that. And so we're going to go down to the closing responses and expand the arrow for response sent to the user after the intent is fulfilled. And in the message below, we're going to enter the following text. What is it? And we're going to say, sorry, I'm having trouble understanding. Can you describe what you'd like to do in a few words? I can help you find your account, balance, transfer funds, and make a payment. Okay? So this is what it should look like. It's a great detailed message, and it gives, if you think of it for the user experience, it's a little more nicer than saying fallback intent fulfilled. It's like, oh, I'm having trouble understanding. Can you tell me a little more about what you would like from me? You'll also notice that there's a variations option. And what that means is that we can come up with different responses. So we can say something like, could you try rephrasing that? I can help you find your account balance, transfer funds, and make a payment, right? And we can even add another variation. Do you all have any suggestions on what I should add? If I get an error message, what do I want? I'm going to be like, oh no, or yikes. I always say oh no, so I don't want my bot to say oh no. All right, so what are variations? They're going to give a little bit of variations, obviously. And so instead of just saying, sorry, I'm having trouble understanding, we'll get a little bit of variety, a more dynamic response with like, can you try rephrasing that? Or yikes, or oops, or uh-oh, I didn't understand that. Whatever you want. Have fun, right? Okay, so now we're going to enter save intent. And we're going to build. And in that time, you know what we're going to do. So when does the fallback intent get triggered? The fallback intent is a default intent in every chatbot that gets triggered when the chatbot doesn't recognize the user's input. Okay? Why did you configure the fallback intent? I wanted to configure the fallback intent because I wanted my banker bot to respond to the users in a friendly manner. All right. Even when there's an error, right? Even when there is an error. Okay. All right. Okay, so now we're going to select test. Are you ready? So it's successfully built, and we're gonna hit test. Okay, so let's test the 2 or 3 messages that failed in the last try. What was it? Like good morning? Yikes. Well, thanks, BankerBot. Good morning to you too. What else? Hiya. Oh, see, it understood hiya because it was within the 40%. What else was it? Oh, let me see. My name is Maya. Yikes. What about seeing the variations? Let's try a little more. How are you today, BB? Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding. Can you describe what you'd like to do in a few words? I can help you find your account balance, transfer funds, and make a payment. I don't know what I want to. I don't know what I'd like right now. Could you try rephrasing that? I can help you find your account balance, transfer funds, and make a payment. See how that fallback intent was customized and the variations were included. But it, have fun with it, play around with it. You'll see like different variations, and sometimes it's the same message that keeps coming, and sometimes there's a little bit of variations that come into it. So let's take a screenshot here, including a few variation of fallback intent's response. Oops. Okay. All right. I'm so excited. This is the one. Okay. Amazing. So, how did we configure the fallback intent? To configure fallback intent, I customized the closing response messages and added variations. I don't know, am I typing too much? It's always nice to be very descriptive, because then the end product becomes more descriptive, the documentation. What are variations? Yes, I also added variations. And what this means for an end user is that they will see slightly different responses each time. The bot doesn't understand. Okay. And if you want to change anything, you can always change it if you have a pro subscription. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So exciting. Okay, look. We have a secret mission. Shall we do the secret mission? I'm ready. Okay. Let's get into the secret mission. In this secret mission, we are going to spice up the fallback intent with an initial response and add variations to the initial response. And by doing the secret mission, you get that extra cherry on top in your project documentation. So, what are we doing in this secret mission? In this project extension, I'm about to add more variations to the initial. I'm going to spice it up. Spice up the fallback intent with an initial response and add more variations to the initial response. I'm doing that to be a little extra. No. To get to be more familiar with Amazon Lex and making an awesome chatbot. Yeah. Okay. Amazing. Okay. All right, so we're still in our fallback intent page. Let's head to the initial response section. How do we head to the initial response? Let's go back here. And our initial response section. Oh, oops, I wasn't supposed to go back. Okay, here, the initial response section here in the fallback intent setup page. Let's select response to acknowledge the user's request. Okay, so quick tip. What is the initial response? Basically, it's the greeting or confirmation that your chatbot sends after it figures out, right after it figures out your user's intent. So it gives a little extra conversational touch, like, hey, thanks for telling me what you need, or great, I can do that. I just need more details. Things like that. So it just makes it a little more friendly. So let's expand the arrow to respond, to acknowledge the user's request, and expand the message group. And under the message, let's add, this is interesting. And in the variations, we can add anything we want. Let's say, one moment. Or we can say, hold on. Okay? All right. Once that's done, and we've set up our variation, let's save the intent. And then we select build. And you know what we do when we select build and wait? We answer the questions. Okay. For which intent does your chatbot send an initial response? Okay, so as an extension for this project, I'm setting up initial responses, which are what are the initial responses? This is interesting. And one moment. I've set up initial responses for a little more humanized experience when the chatbot recognizes the intent. Amazing. Done. And now let's select test. Are you ready? Test. Okay. So let's see how our initial responses and variations pan out. Send these utterances to your trigger to trigger the fallback intent. Okay, so let's do some hello. This is interesting. I want to buy tickets to the ballet. Hold on. Can you try rephrasing that? Or I love next work projects. Come on, BankerBot. It says hold on and yikes. Fun, isn't it? Super, super fun. Okay, amazing. Beautiful. All right, let's take a screenshot of our conversation with Mr. Bankerbot. Or is it Madame Bankerbot? I don't know. All right, take a screenshot and I'm going to upload that. Okay. How did you set up initial responses? The initial response messages I set up are hold on, or yeah. This is interesting. For the user, this means that there is more of a conversational experience. Okay. Yeah, when I say I love Nextwork projects, it says hold on, and then yikes. Wow. Nice work. We did it, guys. We did it. We've set up our very own chatbot with Amazon Lex, and we're done. Woohoo! I'm so excited. Okay, what is Amazon Lex? Uh-oh. We should be able to answer this now, right? Amazon Lex is an AWS service that helps us build chatbots very easily. Okay? What are the key services and concepts we learned in this project? The services I used were Amazon Lex. Key concepts I learned include what all? Intents, utterances, fallback intent, and confidence score threshold? I think so. Okay, amazing. What surprised you about this project? One thing I didn't expect in this project was how easy it is to create a chatbot without any coding experience. How long did it take you to complete this project? This project took me approximately 1 hour to complete. The most challenging part? I don't know. I want to say the quiz. I don't think that counts though. The most challenging part, I think, was deciding which voice to go with, because they were all so much fun. It was most rewarding to see my bot in action and respond in a way that I wanted. Yay! Amazing. And then thanks for doing the project. And why did you do the project today? Did this project meet your goals? What would you like to make your learning experience even better? Let's see. I chose to do this project today because I wanted to learn about Amazon Lex and build a chatbot. Something that would make learning with Nextwork even better is to have lots and lots of projects. right? So much fun to do. Projects because I'm addicted to learning. Smiley face. I love to see the answers and the documentations and all of these things that everyone does and posts in the community. So please don't forget to put a message in the community saying that you watched the live or you did the project, and share your documentation, which I will get to as to how to get to the documentation. But super important thing before we say that this is done is to delete the resources. It's a really good practice to do, to make sure that we delete all the resources and avoid getting charged. Super important. And if you're going to dive right into part 2, go for it. You can click here and go there. But today we're not going into part 2, and in this demo we aren't. So let's delete those resources that we created today. So what did we create today? We created a Lexbot. Can you delete it by yourself? If you do, great. But if you're like me and you're not sure, like I know, but I'm not sure, there's steps in the project guidelines. Okay, so if you're stuck and you want to delete all the stuff, let me just go follow these directions. So we head to the Lex console, back to the Lex. Okay. And select bots on the left-hand sidebar. Select the radio button that says BankerBot, and action, delete. Oh no, BankerBot. We'll see you again for part 2. Don't worry. And BankerBot is getting deleted and it's gone. Goodbye, BankerBot. I will see you next time. And with that, the project is done and we're going to share our project. Really fun to just go through all the responses that we entered. Oh, but wait. Shall we do the quiz again? I think we should. But we already aced it the first time around. But for anybody who's just joined, let's do it together. What do intents represent in Amazon Lex? Intents represent not A, not B, not C. It represents what the user is trying to achieve in their conversation with the chatbot. Woohoo! Next question. What is the purpose of defining variations in chatbot responses? Is it A? No. C? No. D? It is to provide a dynamic range of responses, making the chatbot sound more conversational. And that's what we got with the, this is interesting, right? And adding different variations so that we don't get the same error message again and again. What is Amazon Lex? It is a service for building conversational interfaces using voice and text. Excellent. Question 4. What is fallback intent? When is fallback intent triggered? It is triggered when the chatbot's confidence score is below the set threshold. So in our case, we set it to 0.4, which is 40%, and that's when the fallback intent was triggered, when it was not sure for at least 40%. What does the intent classification confidence score threshold represent? The intent classification confidence score is basically the minimum score for the chatbot to confidently understand the user. Amazing. 5 on 5. We've mastered it, and now we even have practical hands-on experience. Amazing. Woohoo! So exciting. Okay, so there is a part 2, and you're more than welcome to get started with that. But I would like to quickly show you how to do the documentation. Go ahead and click Mission Accomplished, super important, so that it shows that your project is complete. Yay! And now you get these awesome documents right in something that you can download as a PDF. So I'm going to save it as a PDF, and I'm also going to create a social post. Which one should I do? How about LinkedIn? I like LinkedIn. So I've started building a chatbot using Amazon Lex. You can always customize it, but this is a quick summary of everything that you did in the project, and you can even attach your PDF. Should be in my downloads. Oh. And voila. And you can click done, and it will be on LinkedIn. All right, guys. It's taking time to load. Oh, there it is. Oh, I need to add a I built. Oh, let's put chatbot with Amazon Lex. Okay. Awesome. And then you can just hit post, and your social media post will be shared with your documentation, and you can successfully celebrate that you've done with this project. Go ahead and also check out the community, and if you don't know how to check out community, it's in the YouTube description. Go to celebrations and add a post saying that you've successfully done with the Lex Part 1, and let me celebrate with you. Thank you all so much for joining. Stay tuned for the Part 2, which will be next week. Until then, bye-bye.